Hello, it is I, Cats, and this is Game with Evil.
What the hell is he doing?
You've probably never heard of Game of Evil, so, frankly, if I had to describe this game in one sentence, it's Die of Death on crack. Yo, why isn't it transitioning? So, Game with Evil has two roles.
Oh, you suck.
Shut up, me, in a deeper voice. There are up to 8 survivors who have to survive using teamwork, their abilities, and enough running in circles to make your average zoomer's eyes bleed. There's also the Eviler. There's only one Eviler. Only sometimes we'll look into that later. And they must kill the survivors or else they lose and are dumb and stupid and are bad at the game or something, I don't know. Basic loop can be summarized in 5 steps. Select abilities as survivor, load into the round, use your abilities and complete the objectives to get Malice. At enough Malice, you get to play the Eviler. Start again at step 2. Pretty simple, right? I hope so, little Roblox TM player. So you know those Evilers and abilities we just talked about? Yeah, you gotta buy those with money. No, this isn't DBD. Not with the real money, you chuckle nuts, with in-game money, or points, whatever you want to call them. You can earn said points via landing your abilities as survivor, doing objectives as survivor, hitting your abilities as the Eviler, killing as the Eviler, and winning as both. Real simple stuff, right? Good, because outside of that, there's also a shite ton of... So yeah, there's a lot of customization for characters. So let's start out with the more simple Eviler skins, which they're quite eccentric, if I must say myself. We have John Virgil, Pursuer Die of Death, Eternal Sugar from Cookie Run Kingdom for some reason, Slenderman, the guy from Virtual Insanity, Weather Girl, Stalker from hit Roblox game Stalker Reborn, and 1x Run from that game we don't like to talk about, as well as some of the best music that has ever blessed my ears. But the real meat and potatoes is the survivor customization. Oh man, where do I start? That's rhetorical, I know exactly where to start because I have a script. You can change your shirt, t-shirt, hair, have up to 4 accessories, different facial expressions for everything for some reason, different animations, and significantly more that I just didn't feel like mentioning. The script is taking too long. The customization goes so deep in this game for survivors that I could make a whole video about it by its own stone, but that's not what this video is about. So let's get back to the good stuff, like... There's something I've neglected to tell you up until now. A, you can only pick 2 abilities, and B, the survivors have a lot of abilities, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. There are roughly 30 abilities for you to pick and choose from, and 7 of them are alternate forms for normal abilities. So hopefully editing me will have some form of indicator that I'm talking about a variant or not. So let's start with the basics. Burger. It's pretty simple. You slow down, eat a burger, restore your health, has 2 uses, pretty stock standard heal. Taco. Taco heals less than burger, but gives a speed boost in return, and also has 3 charges. Cake. Throw a cake forward, has a lifetime of about half a minute, if collected by a survivor, heals them for about 20 to 30 health. Yummy Box. I don't actually remember the name of this ability, but I'm too lazy to look it up. You place a box that survivors can grab yummies from, can be grabbed by multiple survivors, lasts for like 20 seconds. Sword. Most simple stun in the game. You wind up your sword and you slash, if you hit the Eviler, you stun them. The Ice Dagger. It's sword, but its hitbox is smaller, and it doesn't stun, but it does inflict very annoying debuffs. Use it if you want to be an annoying prick. Dark Heart. Has a longer wind up, longer stun, but you start with less HP and you heal with every landed stun. Very good if you can actually hit the damn thing. Illumina. Slightly longer wind up than Sword and stuns for shorter, but in exchange lunges you forward with a huge hitbox and inflicts dazed if you hit. If you miss, you may want to get your eyes checked. Rifle. Stand in place for a bit to aim your rifle. If you land it, the Eviler is stunned for a short time. Not very good at the time of writing the script. You can also shoot through walls, I guess. Sandman. Hit a ball forwards, stunning for a surprisingly long time. The ball bounces off the walls up to 5 times. Makes for really cool trick shots, if you want to do that, if you're into that kind of stuff, I guess. Skateboard allows you to go very quickly and optionally grab survivors to run away with, or evilers to slam into walls, which stuns them. It drains your stamina as you use it slightly faster than you would sprinting. Block. You raise your shield, if they hit you take 0 damage, and you heal 10 HP, and the eviler becomes helpless for about 2 seconds. If not, pray you don't get punished. TV. Block reskin, except the status effects are way more annoying, but it only heals half the health. Basher. On press, you take 50% less damage for 3 hits. On the second press, it bashes the eviler, inflicting them with it shoves them away, and it makes them annoyed. Speed Coil buffs those around you within a pretty big AoE, with lower stamina drain while buffing yourself with immense speed. About 2 seconds before it ends, you lose your speed and get nerfed until the ability runs out for all other players. Regen Coil. Longer cooldown, less base HP, but you get the heal. Buff Banner. You blow into a horn, buffing all nearby with damage resistance and strength. Trowel. Build a wall that can tank like 3 to 5 eviler hits, but decays over time and is vulnerable to damage during construction. Survivors can walk through this. Taunt. Annoy and inhibit the eviler with status effects. Heals you when you hit it. Paint Bucket. Places paint on the ground that blinds the eviler, or you, whoever walks into it first. It can be destroyed with 1 hit from the eviler. Access Card. Do a minigame to make all eviler doors in a radius not work for a short amount of time. Pie. You just throw a pie and give the killer annoying status effects. Tracker. Reveals the killer's aura if in range, while making the survivors inside the range invisible. Now we are done with all survivor abilities as the date of writing. It's time for the... There are 5 evilers in Game with Evil. There's also a 6th one, but we'll talk about him later. So let's just get into things with the starting eviler. Shale. Shale is a basic rushdown eviler with good stamina, high speed, the ability to deal very high burst damage to survivors. Their kit consists of a basic M1 dealing average damage, Slate Hammer, which has you jump up holding said Slate Hammer and slamming down in a big AoE dealing good damage and ragdolling survivors. Very good anti-loop. Slate Throw, which deals low damage in respectable AoE, which gives resistance but also slowness and exhausted. It's also a very good anti-loop. And Slate Form, which is a pretty stock standard aura reveal that also applies Slatelet to all affected, which if taking damage afterwards will cause that survivor to bleed and be dazed. Next up on our list is Fallen. Fallen is a basic trapper and zoner eviler with decent stamina and speed, and is usually the first eviler that you get due to being the cheapest. They are also the first eviler in the game to have passives, which are Siphon, which heals you basically 1-to-1 for all damage, Determination, which is basically John Doe's old Unstoppable passive, but it also works for stuff that only does status effects, and Banish, which causes you to take passive damage over time, which is why you need Siphon. His active kit consists of a basic M1, which is just Shales but longer wind-up, less damage, and longer cooldown, Abyssion, which summons a Void Orb, that drains stamina and health in a big AoE. Singularity, which blows up all Void Orbs, doing damage, status effects, and ragdolling all in range of the Void Orbs. And Nihilens, which is just a basic aura read that also applies basic status effects to all revealed. Next up on our list of evilers, we have Corvex, my child. Corvex is another rushdown eviler with more of an emphasis on speed over damage. He's the fastest eviler in the game, with also the lowest stamina bar and a special meter that allows him to use moves or variants of moves. He gets this meter from hitting M1s or charging it with one of his moves, but we'll get to that in a second. His kit consists of his M1, which deals below average damage with a smaller hitbox, but a very short cooldown that gives 5 meter if landed, has an alternate variant if you hold down the button after hitting it, and you have 30 meter that does a secondary slash dealing 1 damage and about 10 damage of burn. He then has Paralysis, which allows him to parry stuns and negative effects, dealing low damage and a big AoE and applying burn, as well as it also teleports you to the survivor who attempted to inhibit your chase. Fire Flick costs 30 meter to use initially and slows your turn radius, but on contact with a survivor during the rush, deals low damage and applies burn, while also giving some meter back. You can chain it up to 4 times, each time increasing the amount of burn damage and meter returned. Fracture, which costs 40 meter and has a long windup of you throwing your sword. When the sword lands, it teleports you to the sword and inflicts a few debuffs to the survivor and yourself, while also dealing low damage and applying burn in a pretty big AoE where the sword lands. And Inner Flame, which is that charging ability I just talked to you about, which stops you in place and heals you, recharges your meter, again, and also reveals the aura of all survivors. Once getting out of the animation, you get Strength for about 10 seconds. Up next is Template. Template is a multi-play style eviler with 4 modes, all changing their abilities in different ways. They have high HP and good stamina with good speed. It consists of Punch, which is just a basic M1, dealing very average damage with an average cooldown, average hitbox, average anything. Vertical Collapse, which has 4 variants. The Base, which is basic grab, deals 30 damage if landed and ragdolls. Flame, which deals low damage but inflicts burn for a long time and gives you strength. Particle, which deals medium damage and gives you reduced stamina drain for a short period. And Sparkle, which deals the second most damage, inflicts vulnerable, and reveals their aura. Toolbox, which has 4 variants. Basic, which is just a basic projectile that deals decent damage and gives daze to whoever's hit. Flame, which deals low damage but explodes on contact with a good AoE and does burn. Particle, which deals the same damage as base and can phase through walls and gives you adrenaline if hit. Sparkle, which places a mine on your position. When survivors run into the radius, it deals the highest damage out of the 4 and inflicts them with many negative status effects along with ragdolled. And FX Switcher, which swaps your form and allows you to access the variants that I just talked about. And last up on our list is Zyra. Zyra is a hit-and-run snowballer that focuses on spreading damage across all survivors during their mode while focusing down one person outside of it. They have decent speed, health, and below-average stamina, having the ability to jump. Zyra also has a special meter that allows them to stay in their frenzy mode longer. Their kit consists of their basic M1, which deals slightly below-average damage with a good cooldown, Frenzy, which swaps you to your mode, sets your meter to 20, and drains your meter at 1 a second. During this mode, you get up to 5 survivors highlighted. Hitting a highlighted survivor inflicts bleeding 1 and vulnerability 2 for a pretty long time. Hitting a non-highlighted survivor drains 5 meter. Missing an M1 drains 2 meter. The timer ticks down twice as fast. Hitting a highlighted survivor gives 2 to 4 seconds of time back. Hitting every highlighted survivor ends the mode and grants 1 to 3 lunge charges, depending on the amount of survivors. When ending, you are inflicted with slowness. During this mode, you get a major speed boost and jump boost. Side Snare. Throw a rope outwards if hitting a survivor, does mediocre damage and ragdolls while pulling them back towards you and inflicting daze. This can hit multiple people. Lunge. Lunge in the direction of the camera. Press again midair to redirect all momentum. Lunge has 3 different forms: weak, medium, and strong. The form you get depends on the angle you hit someone. If you aim straight up and land on someone, it'll be strong. Aim up a little, and it'll be medium. And straight at them, and it'll be a weak. On contact with survivors, pin them to the ground and start slashing them for very low damage every 0.2 seconds. This starts a QTE for the survivor, where they must spam a key in order to escape. The stronger your lunge is, the harder for them to escape. Now that all killers are explained, let's talk about... So why should you, little Roblox player, play Game with Evil? I don't know if you weren't already convinced. I don't know what to tell you, man. Game's good, go play it.
My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to...
Hey, editing me here. Thanks for watching. I should hopefully be posting more videos in the future. Please like and subscribe. Huge thanks to my friends for helping with the script and B-roll. Okay, thanks again, bye.